Hey everyone, thanks for joining the call tonight. It is officially in our backyards, month of funds. Giving Tuesday is today, it's happening right now. And we just had to jump on and see our friends today and just share the amazing stories that we've heard over the past years from survivors and volunteers. That's to us what Month of Funds kind of stands for. We're all over across the country, and we just want to connect and be with you because you really are part of this mission. So I'm here today with Nita Bells, founder and president of In Our Backyard. I have my handy dandy microphone right here. Nita, how are you today? It's Month of Funds. Welcome.
Do I need to get a microphone too? Hi, Cheryl. Thank you.
Super high tech.
I am good. I remember when this month of funds came about as trying to make the best out of 2020 when we couldn't have our Freedom Fest. And it was like, and I'm old, I don't do technology well, but it had to be technology. So we just decided we didn't want one more Zoom meeting, and I get bored really easily. And so I entertain myself with having fun, and we made a lot of fun that year. I don't know if our jokes were any good, but we had fun. Anyway, so now here we are, 2022, and Cheryl has just done a phenomenal job of the Freedom Fest, and we're doing our month of funds, and it's FUN, like we have fun, and DS, because we do need to raise money to get this show on the road. But Cheryl, I have a great idea.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Okay. Well, we've got our hot chocolate here. And what I think we ought to do is play a little drinking game during this. And every time we say fun or funds, we take a drink of our hot chocolate, just like this.
I love it.
Yes, and we welcome the audience to get something to drink too. It can be hot chocolate or whatever. We're not monitoring what you're drinking, but we are just going to have some fun.
That's amazing. All right, I'm ready.
Here we go. Okay. So during the pandemic, people talked a lot about trafficking, and frankly, there was a lot of false information out there too. But I'm always happy when people talk about it, because I say talking about this, bringing awareness, that makes it hard to be a trafficker. And so that's what's happening when people do that. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about trafficking. And this year we had the biggest Freedom Fest ever. And so it was a big party, and we are going to continue that party right now.
So what is so important about fun? Sorry, drinking my.
Oh,
you're missing it. In the mission, I mean, I remember times when I wanted to know what to do to help fight human trafficking. And, the word fun would not come to my brain. So.
Yes.
So how did that really become established? Is it just part of who you are, or, every.
Yeah, I guess growing up, I learned that a good way to survive was to be able to make jokes and have fun even during very bad situations, and there were some of those, and so that's just my own survival thing. So we just try to have fun at IOB because we're talking about a really serious and ugly topic, but there's no reason we can't still smile and have a good time. It helps us get through.
That makes me think about the first time I volunteered for In Our Backyard was really to post freedom stickers and get that hotline, out there into the world, and realize that was my first step was, I'm someone who can go out into my community and post a freedom sticker for that hotline to help reach someone in need. What I didn't know was soon I'd get to know you and read the book and really become fully aware and educated. And at some point, I was invited to serve at our Super Bowl operation for In Our Backyard. And to be honest, it was intimidating to go and do this work. We worked like, long hours, and we were around law enforcement, different agencies that are important to me. But every time us and different people did something well and turned in just a little bit of information that might help, identify a trafficking situation, Nina Bells would be going, "Ow, I feel good." And I just was like, oh yeah, like we are doing something good. So I just thank you, Nita, for, I feel like a lot of us have been fighting this fight for a long time. And you just have always been such a ray of light and sunshine and fun. There you go again.
Oh,
So, and it matters. We're in this fight.
This fun thing.
Yes.
I said it again.
And it takes a long time. I mean, those of you on this call, you've cared about this mission too. And it's not a mission you can help for one day and walk away. You really become part of In Our Backyard as a family. So someone who's very special to In Our Backyard actually helped host our festival this year. Her name is Sarah Perkins. She's a survivor leader. You might know her well.
I love Sarah. I've seen her not physically kick down doors, but like go into law enforcement offices, DAs, different places, and just really do some damage to human trafficking. She's my hero.
She's good people. She was willing and lovely enough to just share a few words on video for us in an interview to share with you all just how important it is to make sure we're reaching survivors with resources. And also, she just loves the Freedom Festival. So I'm sure she says something about how she wants you there. If you can't come to the Freedom Festival, we're always going to connect with you. But if you can make it down to Bend, Oregon in the fall for Freedom Festival, it's an amazing event, and we sure hope to see you next year.
And it's a fun time.
It is. It's a fun time. And I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to hear from Sarah Perkins. See you soon.
Yay, Sarah.
I have been to every Freedom Fest since the beginning. And this year was definitely the biggest that I've seen yet. We've had the most people show up. Really fun, historic location. I think people really enjoy just the experience of town theater. Food was good. Speakers were really good. I think it was a really good turnout. We talked about survivor stories, different ways that human trafficking and sexual exploitation can happen, as well as who traffickers are. There were a few really good questions in the audience asking about stickers and wanting to step up and push those out more, and just trying to know the boundaries around those. And I think people are excited. Prevention is super important for several reasons. I think if we can stop vulnerable youth from even entering into the game, it would just slow the game down a ton. Another thing is that resources are super limited. Nonprofits really rely on good donations to come in. We really rely on volunteers, and it's a lot of work that goes into it. So really just not even getting in that situation is super important. Prevention is possible because I've seen it firsthand happen. I've seen speakers go out and share their story, and I think when people can put a face to an experience and they see that it happens all over, and they really start to grasp like how deep this goes, they hear you and they want to know more. And instead of becoming vulnerable or potentially exploited, they choose to get educated, and so they can protect themselves and they can protect their family and their friends and be more aware in their community, which is important, awareness and prevention. Man, get tickets for next year. So much fun, so many people there. And I think empowered people empower people. If we can just come together and have a plan and execute, it really makes all the difference. So yeah, it's such a fun event. Like, why not? You can join the fight in several ways, and that's the best part. You can volunteer hours, time. You can donate. There's monthly donations as well as a yearly donation at the event. Another way is to jump online and order freedom stickers and learn how to become a freedom fighter. You can post stickers in public after you read all the rules to it and post it on social media, let people know what you're doing. The Freedom sticker has the 1-800-HUMAN trafficking number on it. It's placed in bathroom stalls because it is one of the only places that most girls have privacy. If they are in a convenience store and they run to use the bathroom, it's that 1 minute that they potentially have alone that they can scan, text, or call and instantly receive the help that they need to get out of the game. Thank you so much for joining us virtually for this event. We really appreciate all of your guys' time and energy and showing up. It truly matters. It's important in ending human trafficking. Will you link arms with us?
Wow, she's just amazing. I love her so much and appreciate who she is and her stamina and how she's risen up out of the ashes. She's just, have I told you she's my hero?
You have. And speaking of hero, something we do at Freedom Festival each year is we give out just a special, like a linking arms handshake community award for a community hero with an industry purpose. This year was so special for me to see and meet someone in particular. She is from Daktronics. Her name is Jess Byrne. And what's unique about that partnership is they're actually a sign company. So if you think about the billboards around you, high school, college, worldwide stadiums, there's signs all around us, and they're now more digital, right? It's no longer slapping up the cute little letters across the board, but now they're like almost like movie screens everywhere you go. So when we met Jess at Daktronics, they said we can do something. We have freedom stickers and they work fabulously in restroom stalls, right? But stores also now have digital signs inside of them. So Daktronics created a digital library for stores to update. They not only can put up a digital freedom sticker, but even awareness, more facts and statistics to share to people to help educate the public and communities that convenience stores share. This past year, we actually were at the Super Bowl and surrounding the Super Bowl. We never get a ticket to the game, but we're around the Super Bowl.
We're exhausted.
Don't get too excited. But one of their clients said, I want to help, and donated a billboard. And it's finding people, yeah, like when you find people that care and want to give their time, that's what makes a community hero to us. So we're going to hear from Jess just a little bit about who they are. But when we spoke to them first, they said, how do you know, freedom stickers in public restrooms are working? Like, how do you know this? And, we hear from the hotline that convenience stores are they're in the community, they're open late hours, they're essential businesses. And about 2 months ago, an 11-year-old was recovered. So we hear through our community networks when law enforcement is called and someone can get help. So, don't forget it.
At that same convenience store, didn't they say there had been 6 recovered in that chain? It's a large chain. there had been 6 recovered in the last period of time. I can't remember what the length of time was.
Yes, you're correct. And their staff is trained. So not only do we connect with convenience stores to put up freedom stickers inside, but we do offer training. So they do know what to do. They can, feel something in their gut when they think something's off and they know to call the hotline. So here is Jess Byrne from Daktronics, our community hero for 2022.
Well, for me personally, it was very unexpected, not something that I knew was a thing for your organization, but also very gratifying for me personally and for my coworkers that also played a part in making this happen, creating the content for the signs and then helping me find our customers in the area to display that content and make sure that it was getting the awareness for your event that we were really looking for. So the content we created followed the freedom sticker that In Our Backyard has today. And we also wanted to create pieces that helped the general public understand what to look for in a victim. So we created content based on, having that conversation with you and understanding the information that was on your website and just helping people understand that if they see something that seems off, to trust their gut and to say something about it. Don't just walk away and go about your day. Pause and recognize something might be off and I can do something about it. And so the content we created was just a few pieces, very simple, eye-catching, and also for the victims to get that contact information that they really need to take action themselves as well. Definitely. Before I talk to you, Cheryl, you hear about things like this in the news, and being from a small community myself, it seems like something that's like, oh, that happens in large cities. But to really understand and recognize that it happens everywhere, not even in one specific location or one instance, but anywhere you look, there could be something happening. And that was very, very eye-opening for me, just to learn and hear more about and to still learn more and be able to make a further impact as well. I just think that, for myself as someone that helps Daktronics sell digital signage technology, my day-to-day is about how can we get this customer to bring on digital signage and talk to them about how they can increase sales with that technology. But also just knowing that there is something more that we can do and really make a difference. It's so just personally gratifying for me. I know that what we produce, our digital signs and the content on them, they do make an impact. They inform, entertain, and persuade people on a daily basis. And because I know that they do that, and it's proven that our displays help increase sales for customers, I know that they will make an impact on victims and people in the community to raise awareness and to bring more understanding and fight for the one.
Jess, you are dear to our hearts. Thank you for all you've done this year, and we look forward to partnering with you and continuing for the future.
Thank you, Jess. You're amazing.
So, hey, Nita, I don't know if you know this, but Super Bowl is just around the corner.
Super Bowl?
Maybe you've heard of it.
I didn't know IOB did Super Bowl. We've only done 13. We're on 14, Cheryl.
So this is our 14th year. We're excited to be down in the Phoenix and Valley area. If you are in that area, there will be a volunteer event on Saturday. It's in February, the first Saturday in February, February 4th. And you can come on down to the Chandler area and go to our website and sign up and help us bring over 10,000 missing children booklets to convenience stores in the area. and post freedom stickers. You know, it's not in our city. That's
Missing
what
children booklets like this, freedom stickers like this.
So come join us, and if you're there, we would love to see your face. Super Bowl is a special time. That's one of our main, honestly, big volunteer operations every single year. But I want to take this moment to say we keep talking about freedom stickers and what we do, but what's on that freedom sticker is important. We do believe that one day every public restroom will have a freedom sticker inside of it because it shares the national hotline for human trafficking resources. If you don't know that number, you should take it down right now. It's 888-3737-888. And yes, we say it in a different way and it's easier for memory. You'll get a little used to it. But again, it's 888-3737-888. The whole point of
Put it in your phone.
Put it right in your phone. The whole point of today is to say, I learned something. I know the hotline number. Hopefully we've made this a little fun and you will share.
Oh, Cheryl. I was starting to feel sorry for those poor folks out there wanting to take a drink.
They're like, it'll be more fun when it ends sooner.
She said it again.
So one of our volunteers who joined us for the first time last year was actually in the Englewood area, and we were reaching out to convenience stores, marching in there as volunteers, being friendly, offering freedom stickers and missing children booklets. We actually had a situation where we had identified someone who we thought was missing and a minor. And then we had a volunteer named Denise Gomez. She's a survivor leader, and she had a very unique experience that we just thought was important to share when she went on this outreach around the Super Bowl. Sometimes it's nice to hear, what is it like to go, out into these convenience stores and really make a difference in your community? We appreciate her. She's one of over 4,000 Freedom Sticker volunteers who have gone out and done this outreach. And you can create an outreach in your own city. You can go to our website, order Freedom Stickers. We will send them to you for free so you can get going and start reaching to your local community gas station and your local community convenience store. It really is a big deal. And I hope you will just want to join 4,000 volunteers and say, you know what, I can sign up and do that today. So we're going to hear a little bit from Denise.
That day, I just showed up to get more information, educate myself more. I always join these events hoping that I can volunteer, also bring resources back to the community. So yes, Cheryl, so receiving the route, the training, knowing exactly what we're gonna say to the manager at the convenience store, and to put the freedom sticker in the restroom and at the door. And that was really exciting to do that. Yes, so this convenience store, I walked in there, immediately the manager's looking right at me. And I go up to him and I ask him like, hey, by any chance, can I get your permission to leave this freedom sticker? If there's anybody that's a victim of trafficking or want more information, they can call this number. And he looks at me and he's just telling me with his eyes like, yes. Like without words first. He's agreeing with me and he's almost like pleading that I do leave that there. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, that's great. And I'm going on speaking to him and he tells me, what else can I do? What else do you need from me? And I said, well, I'm gonna leave these missing children booklet here and I'm gonna put a sticker in the restroom and in front of the door. And he said, that's perfect. Like, that's great. And so I did. And I just knew that this manager, he came from a place that he wanted this information there. It's almost like he was asking for it or waiting on it. And I asked him, is there any suspicious activity that you've seen? He did not say yes, but he said yes in just with his eyes, just like his body language. And so he was very compliant. So there was this young male. he kept staring at me the whole time while I was speaking to the manager. He walks in, and where I had placed these missing children booklets, he grabs them and he throws them in the trash, and he looks at me. And when I was leaving, he removed one of the stickers. And so now it made sense to me why the manager kept being so compliant and just kept staring at me with these eyes of like, yes, please do this. I'm glad you're here. And this whole experience situation also just made me realize that this is why I'm doing this. This is why it's important, and how as simple as a sticker is dangerous to him, because he knows that as they're getting smarter, we're getting smarter too. And there's hope and there's faith, and we want, it was sending out a message to him and also to the survivors that we're there. It has to do because I am a survivor of online grooming. When I was 14 years old, I received a friend request on MySpace, and it went from Facebook to Kick to Voxer, all these talking apps. And when I turned 15 years old, we met up in person, and he raped me. And my life changed completely. I was self-sabotaging. I was in a lot of pain, and he exploited me, and he told me that it was my fault. I got in the car. You were talking to me for this amount of time. Who's gonna believe you? Well, later on in life, I realized that it's not my fault, and that I was exploited, that I was taken advantage of. And so I dedicate my whole life in advocating, spreading awareness to help out, because I would never want anyone to feel like they're alone, because they're not. How I felt alone at one time. So yeah, this is why I showed up to that event, and gave me the power and strength to do so.
All right, it's time for the main event. We were just grateful to get to know a survivor leader named Lisa. She spoke as a festival speaker at the Fall Freedom Festival this past year. And let me tell you, the power that she created in that room just rang. Freedom rang that night with Lisa's story. We couldn't imagine hosting Month of Funds without somehow trying to get you back in that room. So Lisa graciously agreed to read her story to camera, and just to invite you into that courageous space with her. When I think about someone who has a story of being trafficked that's familial, that's young, you're really getting close and almost in contact with that person. She has found a way to share her story in a creative attitude that will touch your heart, and really, really ask the hard question, will you help us prevent human trafficking? When you hear someone's story and what they go through, you never want trafficking to happen to someone else. So let's hear from Lisa.
This book is for all the little girls who grew up without queens and found it hard to become princesses. Most little girls at the age of 3 are slipping to the front of their mother's heels and putting as much jewelry as they can manage around their necks, rummaging through their mother's makeup to find the shade that best fits their mom, and sashaying out to the living room to do a twirl like, ta-da, asking their moms, don't I look pretty? While I, at the age of 3, had already decided I would be nothing like my mother. To me, moms were evil and didn't care. That left their responsibility for someone else to bear. And of course, that just isn't fair. This is not to repair the damage or help you heal the pain. It's just a little coping for when it seems it starts to rain. Queens are taught and groomed to be queens during their princess years. The way I see it, being a princess. I've been a queen since the age of 3. It just came with a lot more responsibility. I was asked at the age of 5, why don't you know how to tie your shoes? I thought in my head, are you stupid? Because my mom never taught me, duh. And I'm pretty sure my great-grandmother's shoes all have Velcro on them. She can barely reach her own laces. How would she bend down to show me how to tie mine? I got my first haircut at the age of 6. Not because my mom took me to a beauty shop like a big girl. Because I took a pair of kindergarten scissors and cut a patch out of the front of my head. Like the son learning to shave for the first time while watching his dad using a pretend razor to be just like daddy, while I saw my grandmother shaving the gray out of her sideburns. So just like a little sponge, I snuck into my grandmother's room and got her razor and shaved my sideburns. By the way, 6-year-olds don't have sideburns. Talk about a horrible burning chapped feeling on my sweet, innocent 6-year-old face. I'm not sure if I didn't want to listen to things my grandmother had to say because she wasn't my mom, or I was just nuts as a child. You know, your mom says, eat your vegetables. They'll help you go big and strong. Maybe if you were here, I'd be bigger and stronger. Because I fed all my vegetables to the table. That's right, the table. Every vegetable under the table, that's until those crummy vegetables got hard and fell to the kitchen floor. And my grandmother knelt down to what I think was a clump of lima beans. I don't know, they were black and hard. And she looked up to discover the Pandora's box of vegetable secrets. Now I thought I would get punished and not have to go to Bible study. But instead, I got a good whooping that day and was still made to go to Bible study. Now, you're not supposed to stick things up your nose. At least that's what my grandmother says, I suppose. Now, out of the corner of my eye, you see, I found this little black eyed pea. So I walked to the mirror and put it up my nose. And with one swift blow, out it flows. Ooh, that's cool. I thought, I'd give it another try. But this time, from a greater distance, and see how far that pea would fly. So I shoved it up and took a blow, but nothing came out. What the f do? I'm in trouble. I was warned about this. I couldn't go tell her, for sure she'd be pissed. So I put my head down and started to cry. Why do I do things that result in a lie? Now because of my sobbing and weeping of eyes, I guess my snot loosened it out and out the pea flies. So on this day, I had a hair appointment, and I'm about 6. And my hair is annoying and unruly to fix. On this day, I'm getting a perm. So if you don't know what that is, it goes on your scalp and it burns. I was told, don't wash your hair because it ruined the process. But my grandma had this new Pantene Pro V, and the commercial made your hair look flawless. So I thought to myself, I can help the beautician out. So I washed my hair and almost got cussed out. Maybe if you were here, I would have taken your advice without a doubt. On this day, you showed up, but something seemed to erupt. There were yells. There were screams. You said you had to leave so you wouldn't say something mean. But I couldn't let you go, so I chased you down the road. You told me go back, but I said no. I want to go with my mom, don't you know? The words go back haunt me to this day. As I lay on my back in that U-Haul truck, but it's not time to play. I look for you for help, but you were the aid. I looked for you for a distraction, but I think you were getting paid. So this is only 6, and I have 9 more years for me to share the damage of my motherless years.
I told you, you weren't ready. That was an amazing story. They're speechless. So, it's like those are snaps, I think. I think snaps are what we do. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing your story. You hold a place in our hearts. You mean so much, and you're just so brave, and you teach us. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa.
So now, oh, sorry, you want to say something?
No, I just was saying thank you, Lisa. We admire you so much.
I agree. So what now? What do you do now? I know what I was feeling after I heard her story, and that was I would have been a person that taught her or tied her shoes. There's a moment in that story of just hurt and harm, and you almost see innocence right in front of your own dang eyes, and you're like, I don't want one more child, one more adult to ever be trafficked again. But you know what? That's why you're here. You're here with us. These stories are hard, and we're here to say there's hope. Lisa speaks because there's hope. I speak because there's hope. And there's an easy way to do it. We've made it as simple as possible, and that's just to grow, go, or give. And in order to grow, you have to learn, what does human trafficking look like here in the United States? Who is it affecting? Where is it happening? And you can go right to inourBackyard.org. We have a new training series up there with Nita, and she does a spectacular job. It's called an HT 101, easy peasy. They're short 10-minute videos. There's 3 of them. Please take advantage of that and grow. Get to know what human trafficking looks like in America. You have to go sign up, order those freedom stickers. Please go out, join us, link arms with us, grab a friend. Even if you're a family, I love when kids go into convenience stores and say, hey, will you post this freedom sticker? It's an easy way to actually get out there and let traffickers know we're protecting our communities, and we want a survivor to know there's resources. So we're helping survivors and holding traffickers accountable. If that's your lane, please go to the website right now, inourBackyard.org, and order your free freedom stickers. And last, give. I mean, it's Giving Tuesday, but I do want to have a challenge that really makes the difference for us. For just $1 a day, given monthly, you'll become a freedom partner at In Our Backyard. You're a monthly giver, and it makes the difference to say we prevent this all year long. And we're able to do what we do because of your giving, and it really is impactful and powerful. And what else would you say about freedom partners?
Well, freedom partners are, again, heroes of mine. They are people that we know every month we can keep the lights on. We know every month we can go from the next month to the next month, because that's money that we can count on, especially in this economy. So yes, we need freedom partners as much or more. As some Freedom Fest has said, if you don't give any other way, please, my favorite way for you to give is being a freedom partner, because that just helps us. It's the best.
If you're becoming a freedom partner right now, today, something cool we do at the Freedom Festival is we pick up a glass for cheersing, and we say for freedom. So we're going to give you a cheers right now to all of you that are signing up to become a freedom partner. For freedom. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. So good.
Wow. I feel good. We have fun, and we really love this work. We really love the privilege of making a difference. And Cheryl, I just want to commend you for the great work you do, leading so many across the nation every week. Thank you. And thank you to all of you that came out, and all of you who have supported IOB over the years. You're my heroes too.
And again, the big question tonight is, will you link arms with us? Will you
Yes.
take this Giving Tuesday and make it a mark in your book that you decide to link arms and fight against human trafficking? We are excited to know you. Please tell your friends and family, share Lisa's story. It is so powerful. We're going to have this available possibly all the way through Super Bowl. But I just encourage you to tell, like Nita has, I've learned this from Nita, tell 3 people about that video you saw today. We love just producing things that matter. They're respectful, but there's also truth to it. So we're excited to have fun, our one last gulp.
Fun, she said fun.
And we hope to see you very soon. Thanks, guys.